Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you stick around. In today's video, I am bringing you an anti-MLM reaction video. So of course, just as a disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and just my opinions. Today we are going to be covering two Monat reps who are going to be talking about the one reps why. This is something that we hear a lot within the anti-MLM community and within the MLM industry. The whole basis behind having a why is so that, this is just my opinion though, is to be relatable, to have that story that, whether it be a sob story, a rags to riches story, in order to pitch people, whether it be the opportunity or the products. So that's what we're going to go over today. And then I am going to give a little bit of an update. If you guys have been watching over the last couple of weeks, well, maybe it's several weeks at this point, I've been covering a specific Amare rep. I have an update. She did reach out to me. So I will be speaking on that a little bit later. It was a good conversation. So spoiler, it's not going to be some kind of dramatic tea-filled type of a thing. It was a good conversation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this reaction video.
We're sitting back here. Hello friends, how we doing? Can you say hi? Okay. We wanted to pop on and chat for a little bit. We're about to go shoot some content for the holidays, for our business, for IG. But I kind of want to tell her story real quick because it's a good one. It was my VIP for 2 years? 2 years. 2 years. Okay, so when I first joined the business, I kind of really wanted to connect with other moms that I could help because I saw how great the business was for my family. And so I was one of those people that I was like hounding constantly, but in just like a genuine way, right? And she was like, no, it's not the time. It's not the time.
Was it really in a genuine way? Were you really wanting to help this other mom? So clearly, as I've covered so many times on this channel, this is probably why this was sent to me, because I talk about them targeting moms so much nowadays, now that I never agreed with this previously, and I always disliked the whole pitching moms, whether it be the opportunity or the products, because we know that if you just pitch the products, it's kind of like a segue to eventually pitch the opportunity and say, oh, you can get these products for a discount if you join, and all of that other stuff. I've been covering a lot of the moms being the target just because I'm a mom now. And with my experience of being a mom, I can definitely see why people are pretty much very easily convinced to join one of these MLM companies, especially if you are not familiar with MLMs, especially if you're not anti-MLM, or you've never come across anti-MLM content. You don't really know how predatory the structure is and how unethical it is. But that's why I like to cover a lot of the whole targeting moms thing, because yeah, I can definitely see why, if you're looking for that community, if you're looking for people who are other moms, so that you kind of have, I guess you can kind of say so you kind of have this support system, which we know is not going to last, especially if you leave the MLM. Let me not generalize, not all of the time, but from the majority of videos that I've reacted to, yeah, that's what we see a lot, is that as soon as you leave, that's it. Because in my opinion, you're more of a number to these people. You're more of a paycheck to these people. So when you leave, why would they love bomb you still? You're not making them any kind of money. And again, this is all my opinion. But then she said that she was hounding this person. I should have waited a little bit because I did watch this before, so I'm not blind reacting to it or anything. But there's something else that she's going to say that I will speak about in a second.
Time, and eventually I think like stopped responding to me. She's like, this girl is crazy. And then she got married, moved to Hawaii, and then moved back to my hometown, and we reconnected at like a party, I think, or something. And she looked at me dead in the eye. She's like, I'm ready to do this. And so you've been in the business for
6 months.
Okay, wow, already? That's wild. 6 months. She's one of my top leaders. She's killing it. She's building a team. She actually has a team in, I always say New Zealand. It's Australia.
It is New Zealand.
Okay,
Yeah.
I always get those confused. It's New Zealand. And I just want to give her the floor for a second and have her tell you why, she was scared. She thought this was kind of scammy.
Yeah.
And she loved the products, but she just didn't want to do the business. So I wanted her to chat.
So she was hounding her until she stopped responding. This is a very perfect example of when I've talked about this before, because I was told this when I was in the MLMs. No doesn't mean no, it just means not right now. So you have to consistently bother people until they either block you or they eventually just give in because they don't want to hear you anymore. And so they just say, yeah, I'll join it. So this is a perfect example of no doesn't mean no, it just means not right now. No is a full sentence. And I think that when it comes to these MLM reps, take no for an answer. Because, in this case, she did eventually get her to sign up. But did she join because it was presented in a certain way? Her upline said that she specifically targets moms because she wants to help them the way that it has helped her family. So did this rep maybe feel a little bit maybe is she kind of related to this other person a little bit? Then she said that she moved back and she's building a team in New Zealand. So obviously that is a market where it's not going to be as saturated as it is here in the US. Which brings me to is the reason why she was able to build a team really fast and be one of your top leaders, because she went into a market that is not as saturated yet. I wonder.
Chat.
So I've been a hairstylist, for
Oh, that's right. And she's a
12 years
hairstylist.
now.
Yeah.
I went to hair school right out of...
You forgot that one of your top leaders went to cosmetology school? You forgot that. I don't know. I find that a little weird. Maybe I'm nitpicking here, but if you have someone who is bringing you a lot of income and you're getting a lot of commissions off of them, I would expect you, especially if you were hounding them nonstop, I would expect you to know something that's that important in their life.
high school. And so being approached with this opportunity, I was kind of like, who are these people that are like trying to sell me shampoo? Like, it was almost like insulting.
Yeah.
Not knowing much about the business part of it. And so I tried the products, then I stopped using the products, and then I was like, I'm not doing this. I moved to Hawaii, and we were actually poisoned with jet fuel, which is like another long story. So that's when toxicity kind of like came into the picture, and I started to care about like what I'm putting on my body. My hair started to fall out. My face was like so red and broken
irritated.
out. It was crazy. My chest was broken out.
I'm not trying to invalidate her experience because I have never experienced jet fuel poisoning. I didn't even know. This might sound kind of dumb of me, but I didn't even know that existed. I don't know how that happened to her because she said that's a whole nother story that she's not going to get into here. But when she said that her hair started falling out, and again, I'm not trying to invalidate what she went through. Was it because of the jet fuel, or when did she stop taking the Monat products? Because we know that there have been lawsuits, and I'm not trying to accuse anybody here, but we know that there have been lawsuits. So when did she stop using the product, and when did this poisoning happen? Because could there be some kind of a connection to that? I don't know. These are just thoughts that I'm coming up with in my head. But of course, as you can see, she has a why, and she segued into, that's when she started looking at different, like the toxicity. I forget exactly how she worded it, but she started looking more into that kind of stuff. So I'm assuming that she's probably going to say that she started looking into the different types of products out there that may have toxic ingredients. And yeah, so obviously she's segueing into Monat and it not being toxic.
My chest was broken out. I was losing hair by like the handfuls when I took showers. And so I came back, I would go to like Lassen's and Whole Foods and look for all of these like healthy, non-toxic products, but they were crap. and they were like
Lassens too.
slimy and not performing, and the shampoo wouldn't set up. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. Let's try these products again. I might as well just buy the bigger pack, buy as a market partner, get the bigger discount, and we'll see. We'll see if this opportunity is for me. It was like 2 washes in, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to share. And I was that person that's like...
My question is, because she said she was 2 washes in and she was ready to share. Well, if you were using the products before, and if these products are so great, in her opinion, then why didn't you, within 2 washes the first time around, be like, oh yeah, like this is it for me. I have to, just like she said here, I have to share this. That's my question, because why all of a sudden now is she wanting to promote the products and promote the biz? I know that later on they're going to talk about timing. Is it because of Monat expanding into other countries? Does she maybe have family or friends or something over there that she was able to kind of use her network in order to pitch the biz?
That person that's like, I told her, I'm like, I have to wait 90 days. I'm not talking about it for 90 days.
Yeah.
I need to see if it's going to work. And it did. And I had no hairline. My hair is completely bleached. Like I have black hair, and it's
You have
probably
black hair?
Yeah, look at my roots and gray.
Well,
It's
that
really
we know.
bad for my budget that it grows this fast now.
That is so true.
But I think that the toxicity might have turned my hair gray, or my children. I'm not sure.
I will say that her hair does look really, it does look really pretty, but it's also styled. But I know with my hair, it always looks much better when I have it styled. I rarely ever style it nowadays because I'm usually home most of the time, so it's really only when I go out. But yeah, so I can definitely see why she would be able to sell the product because her hair does look really nice. But again, if you said that the products worked but you used them before, so did they not work before? Why did you, 1, stop using the products then if you love them so much now? 2, why didn't you start the business before if the products are so great? That's my question here, because I feel like there's a chunk of information that we might be missing, or part of her why, part of her story. I feel like something's missing here that is kind of, that's why I'm... And I'm not trying to take anything out of context here, but I feel like we're missing something for context.
But this business is just, the community fulfills me in ways that like I never knew I needed. I was a stay-at-home mom, a military spouse, and I needed more. And this has really given me that. It's given me a purpose every day. I get up and I get to work with the people that are my business. I get to work with my
So she was targeted for being a military spouse. She was targeted for the community, and because she's a stay-at-home mom. Let me just say something really quick, because I'm sure that she didn't mean it this way, but some people might take it this way. When these reps say, I wanted more than just being a stay-at-home mom or a military spouse. I wanted more than that. I wanted to have a purpose and a reason to wake up every day and I'm able to work this biz. Let me just say, there's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with that. You serve a purpose, regardless of if you're doing a side gig or you're doing Monat. You have a purpose. And I know, I'm sure that she didn't mean it in that kind of a way, but other people can see it and kind of feel down on themselves and think, oh, well, should I be doing more than what I'm already doing? Should I be more than just a stay-at-home mom? Like, is this not enough? So to any of my stay-at-home moms, military spouses, whatever, you have a purpose. So don't think that you need to join an MLM company to have a purpose, that you need to join an MLM company so that you have a reason to get up every day. If if that is what your pitch is going to be, I think that I'm not trying to diagnose anybody here, and I'm not trying to say anything. I'm really trying my best to not be rude or anything like that. But if you're feeling like you don't have a purpose, maybe see a therapist, because maybe there's an underlying issue here. That's why I'm saying I feel like there's a chunk of information that we're missing for context here. But yeah, if you're a stay-at-home mom or a military spouse and all you do is just that, and note my sarcasm here, I'm being very sarcastic here, that's fine. That's enough. I don't see why it's this whole, well, I want it to be more than that. But what it almost in a sense just kind of invalidates being a stay-at-home mom or whatever they're trying to push here. As a stay-at-home mom myself, yeah, I the reason why I do YouTube is because it's something that is, I've said this before, but it's something from my old life, pre-baby, that I really enjoyed doing, and I still enjoy doing it, which is why I do it. There was a little bit there where I kind of fell off the bandwagon because new mom stuff, postpartum anxiety was at its absolute worst. But so I had to take some time to myself, but now I'm getting back into the swing of things. I kind of have a routine now when it comes to my videos. I've been really trying to stay consistent, but it's something I enjoy doing. Now, if I wasn't doing this, that's perfectly fine. I think that as a mom, as a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, whatever, you kind of tend to, maybe not in every situation, but you sometimes tend to put your children first, which is what I do. I definitely put my daughter first. And I think that there comes a point in time where it's very easy for a mom to kind of lose herself. So that's why these MLMs kind of swoop in, because like she said, I was looking for a community that I didn't think that I needed. Now I have a reason to, I can wake up and I have these people that I'm working with and this business that I'm able to talk about. So bottom line, I know that I went off on a tangent, but bottom line, if you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're a military spouse, don't think that her saying that she wanted more, you're fine exactly where you are. Don't think that you're not worthy or you're not doing enough, because you are. So that's what I wanted to say on that.
Work with my VIPs. I get to help people have better hair, because when you have crappy hair, you just feel like crap.
You do.
So that's
your crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at now. I've got a team that I love and that are literally kicking butt, and it's just so motivating and fulfilling to get to do this every day. And it doesn't help that, it helps to have literally the prettiest hair ever now.
Yeah.
So it's motivating and fulfilling to recruit people. I don't know if she has seen their income disclosure statement. I don't know if she has seen people come and go because they're not making money or they're losing money. So you feel fulfilled and motivated when there's people that are losing money, not making money, maybe not breaking even. You feel fulfilled and motivated by that. Again, she's only been in it for 6 months, so maybe she doesn't know. And I'm not trying to accuse her or anything like that, but this is the reality for a lot of people. A lot of people, they get into MLMs because of whatever the reason is, and then they're pitched this beautiful, beautiful opportunity. And then when they get in, it's the complete opposite. In addition to that, like I said before, she's starting to build a team, or she built a team it made her one of the other upline's top leaders in New Zealand. Is it because that's not as saturated as the US is?
So that's kind of it, and that's where I'm at. I'm like, what else do I have to say? Don't sleep on this opportunity. The only regret that I have literally is not doing this sooner.
Yeah, which you've said a lot.
Yeah.
And I think, but timing is everything. I will say that.
Yes.
I think that it's important. That's an important piece of the business. But for me, you know, it fell in my lap at the perfect timing too.
Yeah.
You know, during COVID and having more time to do it. But that's my story. So this is just one gal on my team.
You were pitched during COVID. We saw this. A lot of us talked about this within the anti-MLM movement. There were articles that were written about MLMs just not necessarily booming or, you know, exploding like the industry exploded, but we saw a lot more MLM reps during the pandemic. I wonder why. I wonder why these uplines went and recruited people and just most likely, maybe not most likely, but in some cases, they used fear-mongering. They used the whole people losing their jobs and having to stay home, having to quarantine. So that's why we saw a lot of it at the beginning of the pandemic when everyone just started finding out about it. And like I said, people were laid off and there was a lot of fear-mongering. And that's why the FTC sent letters out to MLM companies talking about medical and income claims because that was happening a lot and it was gross.
Team, I think to just bring it to basics is like what we're doing is we're sharing a product that everyone uses. And I say this all the time, and I know it can seem redundant, but I'm not selling a lifestyle change. I'm not selling a protein shake to take at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. to lose weight. I don't have to remind my VIPs, my clients, to wash their hair, okay? It's just something that everyone does. So it's a really, really ground level opportunity with a consumer.
Some people drink protein shakes. Some people live a healthy lifestyle and they remember that. And I'm not saying that the health and wellness MLMs are any better than Monat, but why are you trying to, yeah, everyone washes their hair. You don't have to remind them, but there are people who work out every single day, who eat healthy every single day, and they don't have to be reminded of it. I just got a Peloton of, when was it? Black Friday, I think it was when it delivered, because we had a really good deal on it. But I just got my Peloton in. Nobody has to remind me to work out on it whenever I want to. I've been trying to do it every day because I truly love it so far. So if you guys have a Peloton, my username is Monica Hayworth. Make sure to add me. So I really don't understand that argument.
With a consumable product that the whole world is using. And so for me, when I heard that, I was like, that's a no-brainer, right? I already love sharing other things that I do in my life. And this is just something I do every single day, if not whatever, how many times you wash your hair. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of it. Don't complicate it. She's just one person that I have helped change her life, and she's just in the beginning of her story and her chapter here. And we just wanted to pop on and share. We are drinking some champagne.
Yes, we're gonna go shoot some
content. So this is work, baby. This is work.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy holidays. You're going to see a lot more of me because we've got holiday sets coming up, Cyber Monday tomorrow, Christmas, all the things. So, ho, ho, ho. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good week. We're good?
We're good.
Okay, I'm just going to get...
I don't like that they made it seem like content creation is just sipping champagne and just going and shooting content. And whatever, I don't know if they're doing outfits or reels or whatever they were going to be doing. I don't like how she said, oh, this is work, sipping champagne, and now we're going to go shoot some content. Don't put down content creators because there's a lot more behind what influencers do than just sipping champagne and putting on pretty clothes. There's a lot more that goes into it. I don't know how much she's into content creation. I don't know if Monat is her sole thing or if she's a legitimate influencer that has Monat on the side. I don't know because I don't know her or anything. But yeah, don't try to make it seem like content creation is so easy because it's not. Especially if you're really high up there within the influencer industry. It's not just sipping champagne. I might be nitpicking here. Anyway, moving along. This is the last thing I'm going to be talking about today. but the Amare rep that I have been covering for the past probably month or so at this point with all the claims and everything, she reached out to me. And her initial message, it said, "Hey, I was just sent a video of yours regarding me and my Amare journey. I think you've done several, but I don't like watching stuff like that. Anyways, I wanted to thank you for being so adamant about not dropping my personal information struggles and making sure no one else did the same." I'm not going to go through the entire conversation, so if you're here for the tea on that, I'm not going to be going into the conversation because I just wanted to share that her approach was very nice, very calm, and very rare for an MLM rep because we often get attacked. We often get people who are just up in our face saying, you're just a negative Nancy, you're just a Karen on the internet who is disgruntled and who was hurt by MLM. So there are people within the anti-MLM movement, to any MLM reps that are watching this, there are people within the anti-MLM movement who have never been in an MLM, who have never even had a connection to an MLM. An example is that you don't have to try substances to know that they're bad. So it's just like MLMs. You don't have to try an MLM to know that they're bad. You don't have to have experience being in an MLM to know that it's bad, to know that it's unethical. I will say that the conversation I had with that Amare rep went really well. I don't see her leaving the MLM industry anytime soon, if ever, but I like that we were able to agree to disagree about our stance on MLMs. Whether or not this rep reached out to me because she was being genuine or because she was trying to put up a front, so to speak, so that she didn't seem as bad as all of the other MLM reps, or not all of them, but as other MLM reps that we have seen, or even if she's just trying to make sure that her reputation isn't bad. Whatever the case may be, to me, it doesn't matter what her motive was behind it because, first of all, she didn't have to message me. She could have just had her team mass report my videos. And if they do, I didn't do anything wrong. I will say that. I did nothing wrong. I actually, technically, by the rules of fair use, I went above and beyond because I didn't show her face. I blurred her face out. I didn't show her account information. Any names that she drops, whether it be hers, her kids, her friends, I mute all of that out. So technically by fair use, I'm abiding by guidelines, which means if she does send people to mass report my videos or anything like that, I know that I didn't do anything wrong. But at the same time, she might also not do that. So I kind of left it at, thanks for messaging me. Thank you for being as nice as you were in your approach. Whether or not she's just trying to prove a point that MLM reps aren't all bad, that's fine. But I think that it's a good example that you don't have to attack us in the anti-MLM movement because you're not going to get your point across if you're just going to yell at us. Someone recently, oh my gosh, the comment that they left was, I scrolled for I don't know how long. It was on a super old video. Well, not super old, probably like 2 years old at this point. But it was on an old video on the MLM that Swarovski has, because they have regular Swarovski and then they have the MLM side of things, which I don't even know that they had an MLM side, but they do. And there was an MLM rep for that company who commented, and she started off by, I immediately just shut it down. I didn't read the rest of the comment until like the very end. I just skimmed through it because first of all, it was stupid long. Second of all, you can't just come at me and then expect me to respond to you or expect me to actually give you the time of day. So she came at me first, and then she gave a bunch of information that I didn't talk about in my video because I'm not going to talk about all of these things because I'm just giving a brief overview. My video was already long as it was. And also, I'm not focusing on the particular topics that she was talking about. But I really only read through the first couple of sentences, And then I read the last part of it, but she started off by saying, I know that you're here to bash people. You're a negative Nancy. You're a Karen. And anybody can do what you do on the internet. Yeah, anybody can do what I do on YouTube. Why do you think there's so many anti-MLM or anti-scam creators on YouTube? What does that have to do with the argument? If you wanted to state your point, if you wanted to say, hey, this is some stuff that I didn't hear you talk about in your video, I just wanted to put it in a comment. Yes, I am an MLM rep for the company. That would be fine. That's a much better approach than starting it off with, you just bash people, blah, 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 blah. And then here's the things that I would like to talk about the company that put them in a positive light. I'm not going to read through it. I'm just not. I'm not even sorry for it making me sound like a bad person or not wanting to hear people out, because don't come at me like that. But anyway, kind of went off on a tangent. This rep, she didn't come at me. She was very nice. She was very calm. She did send me some messages and some voice memos, but again, I'm not going to share those because I highly doubt that she sent them to me thinking that I'm going to be talking about it or sharing it in a video. So I will keep that private between her and I, unless if she says that it's okay for me to talk about it or for me to share any kind of voice memos. I did invite her to my channel and I said, hey, if you ever want to talk about your side of things, if you ever want to talk about the MLMs, because she's been in It Works. She was a top leader for It Works. She was in Melaleuca for a little bit and now she's with Amare. So I said, if you ever want to talk about your side of things, I'm open to that. But we're most, and this is just what I'm saying now because I didn't say this to her before, but I mean, as long as we can agree to disagree about our stance on MLMs, that's fine. But yeah, I did invite her on my channel. Maybe she'll change her mind in the future, but I'm not going to pressure her or anything like that because it is kind of not necessarily scary, but for some people it might be kind of, I mean, maybe a little bit scary to come on to a channel where there's people who are watching that are against what you do. And if maybe people would go and find her and then send her hate and stuff like that, that would not be my intention at all. But at the end of the day, I cannot control what everybody does on the internet. So if she ever changes her mind and if she's watching this, just so you know, the offer is always on the table if you ever want to talk about your experience. Now that I have rambled and gone off on tangents, because y'all know that I'm really good at that, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. This is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye!